Hello guys, welcome back to Purple Daffodils. Today we are going to see a poem, Nine Gold Medals, written by David Roth is an American poet, songwriter, and a performer known for his inspirational message and heartfelt storytelling. His work often bridges the worlds of music, poetry, and social commentary. His poem, Nine Gold Medals, is one such piece widely appreciated for its powerful message about human. It is a narrative poem that beautifully illustrates the value of compassion, empathy, and true sportsmanship. Inspired by an incident that took place in 1976 Special Olympics, the poem recounts a life affirming moment where competition takes a backseat to kindness and unity. Before getting into the poem, we have to look into few important things that revolves around the poem Nine Gold Medals. As it is said earlier, this poem is based on the real life incident that took place in the Special Olympics held in 1976. So, first of all, it is looking into what is Special Olympics. Special Olympics is meant for the people who are mentally impaired, who are mentally disabled, who has some mental disabilities. Those people participate in this Special Olympics, and there is no age restriction or age category in this Special Olympics. So this is all about Special Olympics. Let us get into the poetry lines. The athlete had come from all over the country to run for the gold, for the silver, and the bronze. Many weeks and months of training, all coming down to these games. The spectators gathered around the old field to cheer on all the young men, women, and men. The final event of the day was approaching. Excitement grew high to begin. So, these two stanzas, David Roth says that the athlete from all over the world had come to participate in the Special Olympics. As Olympics have the participants who are mentally disabled, they have been to months and weeks of training. After getting the rigorous training, they have come to this stage, this game, to win either gold or silver or bronze, and the audience have gathered around the field to encourage the young women and men who participate in this game, and they were all waiting for the final event of the day. So the excitement was growing higher and higher. Next, third and fourth stanza. The blocks were all lined up for those who would use them. The 100-yard dash and the race to be run. These were nine resolved athletes in back of the starting line, poised for the sound of the gun. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, so did the runners, all charging ahead. But the smallest among them, he stumbled and staggered and fell to the asphalt instead. So, third and fourth stanza, David Roth says the people were exciting for a particular event, final event, that is nothing but a 100-yard dash. And for that 100-yard dash, seven athletes from different countries have come to participate, and they are standing on their starting line waiting for the gun sound. The signal was given, the gun is shot. As soon as the pistol exploded, the runners started to run ahead to the finishing line, but the smallest among them, he stumbled and fell down on the track itself. Fifth and sixth stanza. He gave out a cry in frustration and anguish, his dreams and his effort all dashed in the dirt. But as sure as I am standing here telling this story, the same goes for what next occurred. The eight other runners pulled up on their heels the one who had trained for so long to compete. One by one, they all turned around and went back to help him and brought the young boy to his feet. So, in these two stanzas, David Roth says, when the youngest among them fell down in the track, he gave a frustrated cry because all this his effort and training that he undergone for so many months, so many weeks, had all gone to the dirt since he fell down. So he gave a frustrated cry. And what next occurred was really a wonderful thing which nobody in the crowd expected. Even David Roth never expected such thing to happen. What happened? No, you know, when this youngest man fell and he gave a frustrated cry, the eight other runners, they pulled on their heel. They stopped their running and they turned back, and they came towards this boy, helped him to stand on his feet. Even though all the remaining eight athletes had also undergone the same rigorous training for over weeks and months, they never cared about all these things. They stopped their track and they came back and helped him to stand on his feet. The next stanzas, then all the nine runners joined hands and continued the 100-yard dash, now reduced to a walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been more on the mark. That's how the race ended. With nine gold medals, they came to the finish line holding hands still, and a standing ovation and nine beaming faces said more than these words ever will. So now David Roth says, when all the eight of them came back and helped the youngest one to stand on his feet, all the nine of them joined their hands together and they walked towards the ending line. So the 100-yard dash, the running race, had nearly turned into a walking race, and the banner behind them says Special Olympics. So David Roth symbolically says it is a Special Olympics because nobody in that particular game, 100-yard dash, never thought of winning, but they helped each other, and the nine of them joined hands together and they walked towards the finishing line. So and the race ended, all the nine of them holding hands together crossed the finishing line, and all the nine people were given gold medals and they got a standing ovation from the audience, and there is no word to explain this anymore. That is what David Roth says through his. So now we are into the summary section. Let us sum up whatever we saw in the poetry. Athletes from all over the country gathered to participate in the sports meet. They came to compete for gold, silver, and bronze medal. They had trained for many weeks and months to prepare these events. All their hard work and practice were now focused on this one important day. Spectators crowded around the old field to cheer and support young male and female athletes. The final event of the day was about to begin, and everyone felt a rising excitement. The starting blocks were arranged for the runners who would use them. The event was the 100-yard dash, a fast and a competitive race. The nine athletes stood behind the starting line, each one determined and ready. They waited in a perfect position, prepared for the sound of the starting gun. The signal was given, the pistol fired, and the runners burst forward with full energy. However, the smallest and the youngest boy among them stumbled. He staggered and fell onto the asphalt track. The fall crushed his hopes. He cried out in pain and frustration and disappointment. His dreams and months of effort seemed to be destroyed in an instant. But something unexpected and extraordinary happened next. The other eight runners who had trained hard to win suddenly slowed down and stopped. Instead of continuing the race, they turned around to look at the fallen boy. One by one, all the eight runners walked back to him to help him. They lifted the boy up and comforted him and supported him. Together, they helped him stand and prepared to finish the race together. The crowd erupted in applause, deeply moved by the sight. When they cross the line, each athlete is awarded a gold medal, nine in total, and honor for their shared victory. Standing beneath the banner of the Special Olympics, they smile with pride, knowing they have achieved something far greater than winning alone. It reminds us that the greatest victory are not measured by the speed or strength, but by kindness and humanity. Thank you so much. Thank you for patiently listening. Please do like, share, and subscribe.